Zidon Danny, Electro Ninja here, and welcome back to Electro Ninja's Lab. In today's video, we are going to be talking about the latest episode of Miraculous. But before we do that, I'd just like to show off the artwork that is one of our stickers on the merch store. And yes, you guys can get this on the merch store whenever you guys want. And it has every single character that was in the original team, as well as also Punisher Matt. So we got, of course, Electri, Raven, Shion, Punisher Matt, James Johnson, Embera, Professor Lily, and Dr. Fanu, all in this sticker. So definitely go and check that out. That merch has been around for a while, but you guys should definitely check it out because it is on the merch store, and very few people actually get the merch. We also have this mug, which unfortunately kind of looks like crap right now, but I'm getting a new one, so I'll show you guys what that looks like. If you guys happen to get something that looks this bad from the merch store, make sure that you guys send them a picture, tell them what happened, and they will send you a reprint, because yeah, that looks awful, and hopefully you'll get better versions than this when you first get it. But if you guys do get a bad version, make sure to tell them, and they will send you a better version. So, yeah. Anyways, let's get talking about the latest episode of Miraculous. That of Rocketear. Which, I do have to say, this episode, I was not expecting, this exact, the fact that they call it Rocketear just feels like it's going to have something to do with rockets. But really the only thing that's going on here is, well, he does actually look like the Rocketeer. If you guys don't know what I'm talking about, there's an older movie, I believe 80s or maybe 70s, maybe older, called The Rocketeer, which, this is actually, the design is clearly based off of it. So I would have, the design of Rocketeer is clearly based off of it, but at the same time, it doesn't really matter. And this was an interesting episode, as really the main focus was dealing with Alya and Nino's relationship. The fact is that now that Alya is a lot more connected with Ladybug, there are two things that are going to be happening now. One is that she is going to be taking up a lot of responsibility as a new Rena Rouge, as a new and improved Rena Rouge, but also there are a lot of other versions of, there's a lot of things that she's going to be doing now that are going to be very, very different than anything that we've seen before. And yeah, it's going to be a bit weird, to say the least. And yeah. But it did also make me realize that there is something else that needs to happen before too long. And that is that Adrian needs someone he can talk about this stuff to. We'll talk about that more as we continue. But basically, from the start of the episode, we get a brief moment where Nino is helping out as Carapace with different things, being a hero. But for some reason, Alya doesn't seem to be showing up, and he's confused why that is. And it's because of the fact that Marinette thinks that the best option is for Nino to think that Rena Rouge is no longer Alya, and also to try and help that along so that people no longer think that Alya is Rena Rouge, because of the fact that basically everything that happened in the first episode where she actually did a lot of stuff, which was Senta Bubbler, which there are 2 episodes between this and between that and Rocketeer, which will probably explain why the hell she has that outfit. Obviously she's trying to be a bit hidden, but at the same time it's a bit weird, to say the least. We'll talk more about that as we continue, but for right now, it's just, okay. Well, like I said, we'll probably see more of that as we continue with the story, but not important right now. basically, though, Alia and Nino go on a few dates. They talk about this stuff. Basically, Rena tells Nino that she's no longer Rena Rouge, and then, uh, well, things get worse, to say the least. Things get really, really bad. As Nino starts to think that maybe Rena Rouge is in love with, well, Cat Noir. Because, one, there was the movie that came out that they watched together where Rena was basically confessing her feelings for Cat Noir, which everyone knows that's fake, but at the same time, it's just like, yeah, that could be dangerous. And and then also, or Alia is constantly looking at her phone because of the fact that she knows that Marinette could call on her at any time, and it's worrying her. It's worrying him a lot. What could be the reason why she's running off all the time? If she's no longer Rena Rouge, then that doesn't make sense. But things are only going to get worse because he decides, because of the fact that she also does a video about Cat Noir that is kind of kissing his ass, but that's beside the point. Um, but in that, because of that video, Nino starts looking into things way more than he should. Starting off by telling Adrian that he thinks that Alia is in love with Cat Noir, which obviously he knows is not true. But then Cat Noir goes to speak with Alia to try and just see, okay, let's just make sure that things are not going in that direction between us. And yeah, they talk about it. Alia laughs because it's just hilarious to her that anyone would think that. But Nino does, and all he sees is just the image. He doesn't hear the sound of what they're saying. And it scares the crap out of him to know that she could possibly think that. It's a terrifying thought. If you have ever been in a situation like this, it is not a fun situation in the slightest. Take it from someone who has been cheated on. That feeling is awful, and even the thought of it happening, it's a terrible thought that is going to hurt you and your relationship in ways that you despise, and you're going to hate it. But sometimes it happens, and luckily he is just jumping to conclusions. But always be honest, and that is one of the big things of this episode. You need to be honest with those you love, because if you keep these secrets, it could hurt them a lot more in the long run. Honestly, think about all of the times that Marinette has caused someone to get akumatized. Every single time that Marinette has caused someone to get akumatized, it was because of the fact that she kept secrets. Freaking her dad? Yeah, it's because she kept secrets. And even Adrian, when Adrian gets akumatized into Cat Blanc, it is because she kept secrets and, well, failed at keeping secrets. So many times she has hurt people because of the fact that she's kept secrets. Gang of Secrets. 5 of her best friends get akumatized just because she had to keep a secret. And needless to say, almost every time that Alia has been akumatized, it was because of the fact that somebody kept a secret that they shouldn't have. And it's just going to get worse and worse as things continue. You cannot keep this big of secrets from the people that you care about. And you need someone who you can confide in, at the very least. Sometimes, yeah, keeping certain things secret is important, especially if it's something that involves them and you don't want to hurt them. Sometimes you do want to keep these things secret. But at the same time, if you do not tell someone, it is going to rip you apart. And we see that in Adrian. Adrian is struggling. He has been struggling since the beginning. He loves Ladybug. It is an honest truth that he loves her. But because and all of this is just adding to that. He loves her, but he can't tell her. And he has been struggling in silence with all of these different emotions. The emotions of losing Kagami, but also losing, not certain if he will ever be able to be with Ladybug, and so many other complicated emotions. He is hiding it, but he cannot hide it forever. And he is going to break one of these days. And it is not going to be a pretty picture. I think Marinette, before long, she needs to understand that Adrian is not doing well in the slightest. He is having a hard time. He really is. And of course, she's only seeing it mostly from Cat Noir's side, but the fact is that he is having a hard time. And I think that the answer is going to come in a future episode. The next episode, chronologically, is that of Wishmaker. But obviously, we have a lot more other episodes that should be coming out before then. We got Psychomedian, which comes out between Mr. Pigeon, which is supposed to be between Mr. Pigeon 72 and Furious Fu. So I'm looking forward to that. Gabriel Agreste and Mega Leech, which also, big thing about Mega Leech, many people are saying that that's the finale of the season. No, it's definitely not. That takes place 3 episodes before the halfway point. But just between there and Optigami is Guilt Trip and Crocodile, which I'm really excited for that. So yeah. So we still have Psychomedian, Gabriel Agreste, then Mega Leech, and then Crocodile still to have before we even get to this stuff. And not to mention that there are 2 episodes in between Scent-a-Bubbler and Rocketeer, which we still have no information on, and then Wishmaker. I think Wishmaker is actually going to be the turning point. Because I think that Adrian is going to make a bad wish. A really, really bad wish. I don't know if it's actually him, and unfortunately we don't have too much information to go on, but it's not going to be an easy episode, to say the least. It is not going to be an easy episode to deal with. But it's also going to be a turning point for many of these characters. And I personally am really excited to see how exactly they're going to handle everything moving forward. Many people have been talking, people have asked me, especially recently, and other people are theorizing, when could the reveal be? The actual reveal. I've talked about it multiple times that there could very easily be a reveal very soon. Last season, I called it the reveal arc, as many of the episodes had extremely close calls to them getting revealed. And the fact is, their identities were revealed multiple times throughout throughout season 3. Yet, for some reason, they didn't actually get their identities revealed throughout the entire thing. And it's only going to get more and more insane as we continue. The fact is that at this point, Adrian needs to reveal his identity to someone. And who it is going to be a big, big question. And I think that there are 2 people that he could reveal his identity to. And I want to talk about that really quickly. I think that before the end of this season, Ladybug is going to tell Adrian, look, I was struggling. I know that you are struggling with everything that's going on. Things have been getting more and more insane since Master Fu disappeared and had to go away. I know that you are going to be struggling with this. And I know you've been struggling since before this even happened. Maybe it's time that you tell someone your identity. Because the fact is that each of us needs someone that we can rely on, that we can tell our secrets. A person who we can turn to when we need to talk to someone. You need to find that person that you can rely on. And she's going to reveal that Rena Rouge is her person that she turns to when she needs to. Since she knows her in real life and knows that she's not going to do anything and knows that she's who exactly she is, it's easy for her to look at her and say, hey, I'm Ladybug and this is what I need to tell you about. I need someone that I can confide in. And I know that there are some secrets that are going to be dangerous. But here's the thing, I need that. Someone that you consider your best friend who would never tell anyone your secret. And that is going to be something that he's going to think long and hard about. He's going to look through his friends. He doesn't want to tell Alia, as Alia knows who he is. Alia knows who Ladybug is, so her knowing two secret identities is just going to cause more chaos and probably is causing more mayhem for her and Nino. He doesn't want to tell Nino, or he may not want to tell Nino. He might. It's a weird situation with that. But he knows that that could drive an even deeper wedge between them. And they need to recover after this last after Rocketeer. Let's just be honest. So, who does he turn to? If not, well, Marinette. Marinette is his closest friend besides Nino. No one else does he trust more than her. And he is going to turn to her and say, Marinette, hey, could I talk to you for a little bit? And he is going to reveal his identity to her. I think that that is a possibility. And it's a possibility that we have to be prepared for. I don't think that Marinette would reveal her identity immediately to him if that were the situation. But I think that there are a lot of things that he's gonna be thinking about for a while. What exactly could be the best option? Well, Marinette. She is the best option. And it's gonna be tough for him to decide to do that. But I think it's the right decision. Obviously, Nino would probably be the better decision, but at the same time, it would make some sense. I don't know. There's a lot to it, and I think that the other option is surprisingly Bunnix. Well, more accurately, Alex. He knows that one day Alex will know everyone's identities. He knows that one day she will know practically everything that has ever or will ever happen in history. So he knows that eventually she is going to know who their identities are. She's going to have to. But with that, it also means that he can trust her. Or that he will be able to trust her. And it's a thing that he might think about. There are so many options, but it's... We'll see. We'll see exactly how these things turn out as we continue with this season. And just remember that we are only about at the halfway point for this season. And remember, we have 5 episodes? Yeah, 5 episodes left that we have gotten names for that have yet to even happen. More than likely, now that we're Actually, yeah, I believe we are at the halfway point. Let me just make sure. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So if we just get 2 more episodes, more than likely Netflix will be releasing that series, the first half of the season, on Netflix before too long. The other option is just that Disney Plus decides to get everything and reorganizes it, please, to actually be in chronological order. Like, seriously, call up Thomas Ostruck and the rest of the team and be like, hey, what order do you want these things to be in on our website or on Disney Plus so that we don't actually screw things up for you? Oh, you'll want it to be in this specific order that will actually help people to understand exactly what's going on? Okay, we'll do that. And that might be what they're doing right now. Reorganizing everything to be in their correct order, or maybe just season 4 onward will be taking place on Disney Plus because obviously the specials are there. Which, speaking of which, yeah, the Shanghai special is now on Netflix, or not on Netflix, on Disney Plus. So you guys should go see that if you guys haven't yet. But anyways, guys, those are my thoughts and theories. We'll talk more about these things as the story continues and as we get more and more prepared to see how Miraculous plays out. But anyways, guys, hopefully you've enjoyed this video. If you did, please make sure to leave a like, subscribe if you're new, and ring that notification bell. Of course, if you have any thoughts or theories, please leave them down in the comments below, and make sure to say theory review if in your comment if you are going to leave a theory, so that we can talk about it in a future video. Of course, if you guys do want to support the channel even more, then definitely head down to the description and check out all of our links down there, including our social medias, our other channels, and ways you can support us financially, including the merch store, the book, and of course, our Patreon, which a big thank you to our current patron, Sheeny. But anyways, guys, I've been Electro Ninja, and I will see you guys next time. But on!